Well, CO2 Australia started here in New South Wales in 2004, and it was the business developed under the opportunities associated with the New South Wales Greenhouse Gas Abatement Scheme. For the CSU project, this was one of the first properties that was planted, so this was planted in 2006, and all of the CSU project plantings were planted that year.
So we're standing here on a site called Presses, a property called Presses near West Wyalong. We planted this site around 8 years ago now with a mix of mallee eucalypts as part of a carbon project. So this is actually one of the earliest sites planted as a carbon project in Australia. Since that time, we've transitioned this particular project into the Australian Emissions Reduction Fund. So we've turned this into a carbon credit producing project, and we've used some of those carbon credits to help Charles Sturt University with their offsetting program. CO2 Australia, we've been extremely pleased to be engaged by Charles Sturt University to help them with their offsetting requirements, and certainly we really commend and applaud the leadership position that Charles Sturt's showing in being the first carbon neutral university in Australia. It really is a tremendous effort.
It's fantastic for CSU to be recognised as the first certified carbon neutral university. I think what's fantastic about a project like this is it's accessible, it's tangible, and it's really an opportunity for our staff and students to come out and see firsthand about how this particular project is working towards reducing global carbon emissions, and CSU directly showing leadership here by putting our own investment in here and supporting these large swathes of native trees and reforestation of these paddocks. So as part of this field trip to come out and see some of the offset projects that CSU is supporting, we've been really lucky and successful in attracting groups of students and staff from different areas of the organisation, both teaching and general staff. So it's great that we've been able to generate that interest, and these people will be able to go back and tell their story firsthand about some of the projects that they've seen that are associated with us as a carbon neutral organisation.
Certainly what stands out to me in the relationship with Charles Sturt University is their commitment to using really high quality carbon credits, verified carbon credits, and wanting to really get hands-on with the projects that they're actually purchasing these carbon credits from. So covering a range of different activities, including wind energy and here in sunny New South Wales, reforestation projects that are actually returning trees to denuded landscapes. And a key feature with the Charles Sturt University offset portfolio has been about trying to deliver not just the climate change and emissions reduction benefit, but also delivering multiple social and environmental benefits as well. So here where we are in New South Wales, putting trees back into cleared landscapes has any number of benefits for biodiversity, limiting land erosion, particularly wind erosion, mitigating salinity risks, and creating valuable habitat for animal species.
Look, I think being the first university in Australia has been fantastic in terms of us setting the agenda for others to follow and showing a lot of leadership in terms of, it's going to be great for everybody in terms of everybody works towards that longer term goal of reducing our carbon footprint across the country.
We go out and we take sample points from within this forest. We can't measure every tree, that'd be uneconomical. But we use a sample-based approach to go out and set up randomly located plots, measure the trees within those plots to generate our carbon estimates, and we then scale those estimates up to the whole of either stratum. So we sometimes stratify things to separate out, might be one species or one landscape to reduce the statistical uncertainty. So we scale up to either the stratum level or then the whole of the project level as well.
I've really enjoyed it. It's nice to come and see. It's one thing to hear about it on a map or in a program or in a media release, but to actually be here and actually see it, actually come and enjoy it and do some of the plot sampling and know that the data I've helped collect will actually go to contribute towards CSU's data count. So it's fantastic.
So it's been fantastic learning about how carbon measurements are actually taken and the calculations that are used to turn a measurement of tree diameter into the amount of CO2 that's captured in that tree.
Today's been fantastic, and I think it just sort of underlies how complex an issue of reducing carbon is, and understanding how it's produced and how you measure it, and the detail that you need to go in, just to so you know there is no second thoughts about whether you have or haven't reduced your carbon, and been able to measure it in terms of significant products like some of the stuff we're seeing here today in terms of large scale sequestration through trees.
Near West Wyalong in New South Wales. Sorry guys, these blind, let's have a few of those. That one just about went up my nose. Apologies for that.